With the need for multiple specialized armors, will we see suit lockers enabled and more options for armor storage, like storing in the ship's inventory come out
This is what everybody was hoping this panel would be about. Freaking
as
suit
Star
lockers.
Wars further developed?
Well, those are on very different teams, like the Starware and the Lockers. So those guys have very different priorities as well. I can't guarantee they'll come out at the same time. All ships that should have inventory, though, do currently. And for 4.0, a lot more of those will have like physicalized panels and things that you interact with.
That's good.
To find those.
I hope 4.0 acts as an update moment for a lot of the ships, because the non-physicalized components, the non-physicalized storage access in a lot of the older ships really kills the joy of salvaging, especially when you want to just pull components out because they make more money. And you can't because they're not physicalized yet. That and storage would be great. Suit lockers, though, would have been a nice touch. Like, they straight up put that in the base building video they used to tease CitizenCon in August, so I would have sworn that maybe suit lockers were going to show up at CitizenCon, but they didn't say anything about them.
And like the lockers themselves, those are really cool. Like they allow you to kind of pre-customize, you know, your loadout.
Whole loadout, yeah.
Yeah, and then swap into it very quickly. Like, and your clothes would go into like the mannequin on the inside as well, so you can quickly swap back and forth.
That is nice, because that, I believe, is the first on-camera confirmation of the actual functionality of suit lockers. They've had plenty of times where they've talked about, yeah, we want to do this, yeah, we want to do that, this is how it's going to be, that. Actually confirming to us that this is going to be he said very quick, he didn't say one click, but this sounds like 1 or 2 clicks to get all of the things that you want on your body right there and then. And this is one of the biggest, most important changes. This is a sleeper for sure. This is going to go mostly missed because it's in Star Citizen Live Bike like this. But when they start talking about this inside Star Citizen, when they start introducing the rest of the community to this, people are going to be so freaking happy to hear about this, because this is, yeah, it's loadouts. It's physicalized loadouts. And this wipes out one of the biggest perceived time sinks in Star Citizen for a lot of people. And it's the idea that every time you die or every time you want to do anything, you have to spend so much time equipping and gathering your stuff. All they have to do to get past that is say, you just get your clothes, you get your loadout from your ship locker or your hab locker or whatever. It's a 1 click and you're good to go. That wipes out a couple minutes there. And then get the persistence with the ship health to work better. And then suddenly your ship's not dying all the time. If you can just log on and off on your ship and have all your stuff right there in your suit locker on your ship when you're ready to go, this game could easily turn into 2 to 5 minutes from login to get to your gameplay that you want, as opposed to what a lot of people perceive right now, which is like 15 to 45 minutes. And this is a super, super important thing for them to get to, and I'm glad they're talking about it now. I think it would have been good at CitizenCon, but I hope this is like a sooner rather than later kind of thing, especially since he's really confirming how they're going to work here. Either way, good stuff. Suit lockers, oh man, that's going to help the work, the game flow, I guess the game flow of Star Citizen a ton going forward.
They also have, like, you know, small inventory space, so you can put your spares, like your glasses and your grenades and whatever in there. Yeah, so like there will always be somewhere to store these things when you have to take them off or swap. But yeah.
And that still doesn't get past the fact that you have to carry spares with you and carry things with you, but that's also part of the game. Like, this is a way where they can encourage people to take advantage of and pay attention to the ships they have, the storage space they have, the chance to prepare for whatever it is they're doing. And it also allows you to have easy ways to get to that gameplay. And I think this is that line that they really need to be careful with, and they have been treading over the last couple of years, really. It's like, you want these sort of in-depth, time-sensitive decisions people have to make that can rot some pretty intense consequences, giving people more of that kind of sim vibe. But you also want the ability to simplify gameplay or simplify small parts so that they can actually get to that stuff that's fun. And I think this conversation comes up a lot when we start talking about moving cargo around. Some people would say, yes, it makes sense if the cargo is physicalized and I have to move it a bunch. Other people would say, well, this is just slowing things down just to slow it down. Maybe there are other ways that you could complicate the game. Or, you know, complexity is not the same as tedium, and tedium is not the same as good gameplay. And that definition changes for a lot of people. So at the end of the day, it's up to CIG. But I do think that this whole balance of in-depth game mechanics as well as time-saving options intermixed and intertwined, we're going to see it a lot when it comes to things like what he's talking about here, inventory management, or with cargo physicalization, or with Death of a Spaceman stuff and mechanics, with shipping things around the star systems, with moving spaceships around. Like, how's it going to work when you want to log in a different location when you've been offline for all this time? Are they going to allow people to move their characters around while they're offline? Are they going to allow you to order your ship be transported somewhere else while you're offline so that by the time you log on, you can just use it? Because that, again, is like rewarding planning ahead, rewarding thinking about that before you get into the game. But it's also then making things more simple than they maybe seemed to be to people before, when they'd be like, oh yeah, you gotta trek across the whole game to get where you need to go. It's a little Oregon Trail across the Stanton system. There's a lot to consider here, but I'm really glad that they're talking about suit lockers in this way. And I'm excited to see after 4.0 how they start doing more and more of this with a lot of these things in the game that are kind of perceived as time sinks.